Hey, what's up, Chuck? This is Carlos. You had spoken with my associate, Nick.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm really good, man. How about yourself?
Doing good, thank you.
That's good. I'm just bringing up your address real quick. I'm on my laptop. Is it 5509 Sandy Run?
Yes.
55 Sandy Nightdale? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Hey, Maui. No. Maui. Sorry about that. Hey. Give me one second. My dog's in my room. Hey, Maui, stop it. I'm on the phone. If he understands, right?
Yeah.
So I'm bringing up the laptop, but I kind of understood where we were at. He had given you a cash offer of 170 and told me that didn't work with you for the fact that you had a mortgage in place for around 150 grand. And then what was that payment to your mortgage with their principal, interest, tax, and insurance?
Yeah, it was 944.
944. And then he said something about you have another payment to like a renovation loan. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that payment is what?
It's at
385. So you're paying.
and the balance on that's about 35,000.
Okay, so you're paying 944 a month plus 385, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the loan amount is around 35,000, you said?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you're paying a little bit over 1,300 bucks a month on there. Is this a primary residence or are you renting this thing out?
I know my sister is living in the house, but she's not paying me any rent because she doesn't have a job. So basically, she's moving out whenever I sell the house.
Gotcha. So you're just being a good brother, helping her out for now, but you're all looking to sell.
Yeah.
Gotcha. How long has she been there?
Actually, she's been in the house for 4 years. I've had the house for 6, and she came to live with me 4 years ago, and been sort of taking care of her for that period of time. So I needed to move, and she couldn't.
Got you. So you're a good brother, man. I have a good family. My mom taught us well, and we take care of each other as well. But so you kind of just been paying your own mortgage and letting her live there for the last few years that you haven't been there?
Yeah, basically.
So how long have you not been there while she's been there? How long has that been?
Actually, I just moved to Virginia a little over a month ago.
Oh, so you just recently just moved out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you made like your first payment besides your new payment to your house. So you today was like this month was like the first month that you made 2 payments kind of thing?
Yeah.
Gotcha, man. Okay, cool. What is the market rent for a property like this one, if there were to be, like market rent, I guess, like if it's a little bit touched up and renovated?
That's a good question because right now in the Raleigh area, just 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom places, apartments are going for $1,700 a month. I have no idea how much a house would go out there. Maybe 1,800, maybe up to 2,000. I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm just bringing it up on my laptop, just taking a look at it. So since you haven't been there just for a month, the condition of the house, you bought it 6 years ago. Is everything like original from when you bought it, or has there been some upgrades?
Oh no, I redid the entire outside of the house. So it's got new siding, new windows, new doors. There's going to be a new roof put in at the 1st of October.
When did you do all the windows and the doors?
2 years ago.
Okay, those are good. And then what about like the mechanics of this house, like the HVAC system, the plumbing, electrical? Give me one second. You have dogs?
Yeah. No, not anymore. My sister had a dog. I have cats.
Oh, okay. I got four dogs, and they're all males, and then it's eating time, so they're all being a little aggressive with each other. Yeah, be a good boy. Sorry about that, and thank you for your time. Okay, so what I see is you owe roughly 150 plus 135, so that's 185. You're paying around $1,300 a month, and then you have a second mortgage now, or are you renting out where you live?
I'm renting where I live.
Okay, got you. And then market rent more or less for a condo, 16, 17. So a house could be more than that, is what you were saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you put in new windows, new doors, a new roof is coming in the beginning of October. What about, since buying the house, are the floors original, the kitchen and the restrooms?
The kitchen is the original floor. The rest of the house, I put laminate in the rest of the house.
When you moved in?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then I know that Michael said he brought up another way that we buy properties when we can't buy it cash. We buy them on terms. Did he kind of more or less break down how that works?
Yeah. We had asked about the HVAC. That's the big problem with the house is the HVAC died last spring after 37 years of use.
Okay.
And I didn't have the 16 grand to get it fixed up.
So is there no HVAC in there right now?
No, we have window units in for cooling.
Mm-hmm.
And
no heating?
Spacing, but no heating.
Okay. Just the fireplace, huh?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so we definitely need that in there. Okay, so I guess since there's already 185 in debt and everything, what are you looking to achieve on this? What are you looking to sell this for if I were to be able to buy it on terms?
I was hoping to get 265, 270 out of it.
So those numbers, I'm trying to look at the market. Did you get those from seeing houses sell recently, or?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've actually had I was trying to refinance before my move, but that didn't go through, and the appraisal was at 312 for the property.
What did you?
Then I know
how long ago was that?
There's what's that?
How long ago did you get that appraisal?
That was in July.
Okay, so a few months. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit different now. And you're kind of aware a little bit about the market, going with what's going on with the real estate prices, like how we just had like that big drop in gas and everything, and so things are kind of like, the only thing that's really going up is the interest rates on homes for homeowners, but everything else is coming down, you know.
I hired a realtor, and they finally got some numbers back to me, and they have it listed at like 298.
298. What are you looking to net after you pay them out if you were to sell it? If that were to be the price it gets sold at, what are you looking to net, like walk away after you're paying all your commissions and whatnot, fees?
I was hoping to net about 235.
So if we didn't use, I'm not an agent, and I don't look to be. I work with agents when I fix and flip properties, but I don't typically purchase properties with them. I try to avoid paying that commission, and anyways, it comes out of your pocket, not mine. But we don't have to use an agent if you're willing to work with that, and I can pay you that that number you're looking for. So like you can still net that. The thing is, since it would be on terms, it works like kind of like when you're going into like a car dealership or like the bank to get your mortgage. They ask you for like a little bit of money down and then make payments over time. And I know a car is like 3 to 5 to 7 years, and a mortgage is like up to 30. So it could be anywhere between like buying a car and like an actual house. So like if we're to buy this from you, what type of like time frame are you willing to work with me on to pay you back?
I know I'm going to be here in Virginia 8 to 10 years. Kind of an interesting story behind that. But basically, I committed myself to about 8 to 10 years because of my daughter.
What a nice commitment. You're out there. She lives out there now?
Yeah, she's in high school here. She has 4 years of high school left. And I'm a professor at a local university, and she at the university she wants to go to.
Oh, how cool. So you might even be her professor. Is she going to jump into, the field that you teach?
No, but she would have to take a chemistry course, which I do teach, in order to go into the field she wants to go into.
Oh, got you. So you teach chemistry? What's going on?
Yeah.
Nice. I learned a little bit when I was younger. I attempted to be a firefighter, but I was a little bit too wild, so I couldn't really. I was as responsible. But I took a lot of chemistry, learned about fire and everything, and then I also breed dogs, and so I had to learn about chemistry and how that works too. So it's a pretty cool subject. It was kind of hard at first. Not really like the smartest person. Why I just buy houses a lot easier. It's not rocket science. Yours is more like rocket science. Yeah. So if I'm able to do $235,000, what type of money? Because I'm going to concur a lot of fees like renovation and closing costs. I'll pay for all that, the closing costs, and I need to put an HVAC system and stuff like that. What type of money down on the 235 would work to maybe, like I don't know exactly what your goals are with some of the money you need, but what is there like a certain number that you do need?
Well, let me think this through. I want to give my sister some money because she's going to have to move out.
Okay.
So I want a little money for her, and I want enough cash to pay off my car.
How much is your car?
I owe about $11,000 on my car, and I'd like to give my sister about $5,000.
So roughly 16,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I could buy it for 235,000, and I could put $16,000 down because I'm going to concur all the other fees in there. What type of payment, knowing that, let's say you said 16 to 1700 is like a condo, right? So I kind of have to do a little bit of my research to see if I can get 17 plus or 18 because it's a house. But in a scenario where I can get, let's say 17, 1800, from that 1300, there's really not much of a spread in there. And I just need a cash flow for me to pay a higher price. If I give you some money down, what type of money are you willing to like split with me or accept from me? Because I just need to make this like a positive cash flowing system for me to pay more. And I don't need like 30 years. It could be a lot sooner than that, but I would need to make some cash flow.
Yeah, I understand that. I wouldn't need much in reality to make this work.
So like would like, because there's only 5, like if I give you $16,000 down, it did $200 a month. And way it works is I become responsible. So this is a little bit of both equity and debt. So it's subject to existing mortgage. I'm buying over your existing debt, and then at the same time I'm paying you equity. So it's together, it's like a hybrid deal. So I would be responsible making payments to your 35,000 renovation loan at 385. I start taking that over. Your mortgage of roughly 150. What's the interest rate on that?
A little less than 4 right now.
Okay, so less than 4. So I
I think
get
it's 3.75, 3 7/8.
3 7/8. Okay, so I become responsible to the 150, the interest rate, and then that 945, which together more or less is like 1350, more or 1300 to 1350. If I'm able to do all that, give you $200, how long are you willing to finance this for me? I know that you said you're out in Virginia for 8 to 10 years. Is that more or less what you're willing to work with me on?
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 to 10 years. Now, do you have any questions for me? I know this is not your typical cash purchase. I'm not sure if you've ever sold a house like this before, but typically there are some concerns or questions. Do you have any?
Yeah. My big concern right now is taking care of this real estate agent I've got a contract with. Because they're gonna, if I cancel the contract, then I've got to pay them some money. And
What is it? If you were to cancel, what is that cancellation fee with them? Because I do this all the time where we just pull it. I just tell them, hey, look, like I'll save you their commission. And plus they didn't even bring me, they didn't find me to come and buy the house from you. It was our own source. We found you kind of thing. So like, what is the number if you can't cancel out or like terminate the agreement with them without having to pay any money? If there's a certain dollar you have to pay, what is that?
it's 3% of the sales cost.
Even if you terminate the contract?
Yeah.
That's what the actual contract tells you?
Yeah, that's what it says, unfortunately.
So basically, though, so how do you get out of that? Like if it just were to expire, you wouldn't have to pay them, or even if it expired, you'd have to pay them. Got you. Okay, so 3% on 235. That's 7,050. And you see, like the money I'd be giving you, usually that comes out of your pocket.
Yeah.
So 7,050 plus 16 grand, that's around $23,000 down, basically 10% right there. Then I have renovation costs. Give me a second. I'm just running some numbers really quick.
Oh, okay.
I use so many websites and just want to make sure that some of them have different square feet. Is this 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,164 square feet?
Yeah.
Okay. And then your built was 1985, I think.
Yes.
Okay. So let me see. If I was able to do that, buy it for the 235, I'm gonna see what I can get in rent. So I'll do a little bit of homework before I confirm anything. But if I was able to do 235, pay 16 grand, so you get 11 to pay off your car, 5 to your sister, and then pay the realtor the 7,050, which is 3% of 235. And you give me, and you take $200 payments on top of the debt that I'm paying you for like 10 years. Would that be something that would work with you?
Yeah, that would work for me.
Okay. And here's like the biggest question that I get from most homeowners. They always ask me, it sounds really good, almost too good to be true, Carlos. What happens like in a scenario where like if you default or like if you rent this out and you have a tenant that defaults, what happens to me? Because what happens is the property and the debt stays in your name. My name goes on title, kind of like the car that you're financing. Let's say like Wells Fargo was the one that picked you up, or Capital One. So you put your name on title because it's your car, but Capital One or Wells Fargo doesn't pay for your oil change or your car accident. That's your responsibility. The same thing with me. I'd be putting my name on title. I own it. You don't own it, but you are the bank, and we protect you the same way that mortgages are protected when they loan people the money for the houses, or just like the car business. Like Wells Fargo lends me money to finance a car. What would happen
Right.
on that 11 grand if you missed some payments? What would happen eventually to your car? Come and take it. And so we draft this because the homeowners are willing to work with us on this type of term. We have a document, it's called a performance mortgage deed. And it's the same thing right there. So in a scenario where I buy this house at 235, I give you $16,000 down. I then pay $7,050 for that agent. I then start making these payments for 8 months. I also renovated it and put the new fixtures and the HVAC system in there, and it's cash flowing now up to 1,800 bucks. In a scenario, let's say 8 months down the road, I either get hit by a vehicle or something crazy, maybe even picked up by aliens, something unrealistic happens to me where I can't perform. That mortgage deed protects you. And if I fail on the performance of the mortgage, the property gets deeded back into your name. You would keep that $16,000 that I gave you. You already paid the agent as well on top, and then come out of your money. And then I renovated it, so you keep it, and then it's cash flowing, so you can continue cash flowing on it. Because this time you would make some money, because I know that your sister right now isn't able to afford it, so you're paying out of your pocket. You'd be cash flowing, and at that moment, it's your decision to continue the cash flow or sell it for a higher price now that it's renovated. And that's kind of like my worst case scenario and your best case scenario. And that's what all the banks do. That's how they do their cars and the homes. If people can't pay for them, they foreclose, right? Well, same thing would happen here. You would be able to pull that on me. You'd be able to get the house back, and you put it in your name on title, and then you basically get a gain. I take the loss if I make the mistake. So that works with you?
Yes.
Okay, well, what's your best email?
Charles Burns Jr.
Charles Burns Jr. at Gmail. And Charles, are you the only one on title?
Yes.
Okay, so Charles Byrne Jr. at Gmail, and then just yourself on the title.
Yes.
Okay, what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and run some scenarios really quick. I'm gonna see what the rental market rate is. I'm gonna put the numbers to the paper on the calculator and see if I can come up with that $23,000 plus renovation and closing costs. Do you mind if I follow back up with you tomorrow?
No, not at all. In the afternoon, I have classes.
No problem at all. So what time typically works, like this time or earlier than this?
Earlier than this, on Fridays, I'm out of class.
Okay, so we'll do it earlier. So maybe like 5 or 6 your time, or even earlier.
We can even do earlier than that if you're ready. Okay.
Typically, I'm a little bit. I'm fairly busy too, but I might be able to get you anywhere from like 3 to 6 p.m. your time. Okay. Well, Charles, I appreciate it so much. Thank you for your time, and then I'll touch base with you tomorrow. Okay. All right. Goodbye. Gang live, homie. Gang live. What up?